Okay.
What was that?
As you keep an eye out, as everyone else sleeps throughout the evening, eventually you nod off and fall asleep with the rest of them. I would like to ask all of you to leave the table, please, for a moment, except for Ford.
Oh, it's your turn now.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Why didn't you roll higher perception?
I literally don't know.
Oh, no.
That's actually the problem.
Just don't like get a lich phylactery installed in you again.
Travis,
God.
it's been nice playing with you.
Oh God. Oh no.
I thoroughly enjoyed your accent.
Oh shit.
So, Ford. As darkness takes your mind, dreamless like most, you await the emptiness of sleep to carry you to the day. Your sense of body fades, but your mind and the dark linger. Minutes, hours, days, time loses real sense and meaning. But you're conscious for it, and that is almost maddening in that split second or endless stretch of experience that you're currently unable to express. And as the time passes, the air grows colder around you. The faint shimmer of shifting midnight blue, muted and distant, now showing endless depth before you, rippling. You begin to flail about, your senses returning with the dropping temperature, but there is resistance to your limbs as you push in the space around you. You're sluggish. There's force. It's not air. It's water. You suddenly feel the burning pain in your lungs as your breath fights to escape you, but you hold tight. You seize and swim in desperation, choosing any direction, but the shimmering blue is directionless. There is no up, there is no down. It's just depth. Movement. The universal shadows dance as one, right to left. With a speed that pulls you along with the current. You feel yourself being jostled as it shifts again to the left to right, around behind you. You find yourself toppling head over end, eventually coming to rest again. You spiral over and over again, the darkness swallowing you, tightening around you as this kind of dance, this shape, this endless coil, this spiral around you. As the current tugs at you, battering you, you cannot fight anymore as the increased power of the current pulls on your form. You cough, and the freezing waters rush into your body. The briny taste of salt water stinging your insides. Your wincing eyes open. With the pain that clutches the interior of your chest, only to see a gargantuan mass moving through the water around you, like a massive noose closing in. The pain in your chest vanishes as your breathing normalizes. Thicker than air, but breathable all the same. It feels strange, yet weirdly familiar. In that moment, yellow light bursts before you in the shape of an enormous yellow eye. An impossibly low tone rumbles through the waters around you, shaking you to the core like an organic war horn the size of a canyon. The eye narrows as the tone grows stronger. A thought enters your mind, a jumble of emotions that your brain attempts to make sense of until a word congeals into the center of your consciousness. Watching. And the eye just looks at you. Waiting, expectantly.
What are you?
Watching.
Watching me?
The eye kind of opens a bit and leans closer towards you. Potential.
my potential. What are you asking of me?
Learn.
Learn? What would you have me learn?
Learn. Grow. Provoke. Consume.
Learn, grow, provoke, consume. I don't understand.
Reward.
A reward for this. I'm listening.
Patience. The eye closes, and the light is gone. You feel the darkness and the cold completely suffuse your entire world as the panic and solitude, the true quiet of your unconsciousness begins to take hold. At that moment, you gasp for breath and your eyes open, coughing and sputtering in the morning air. Could I have everybody at the table except for Ford please leave and go take your break a little early?
More wet dreams.
He was in the water before he went
Every
to
time he
sleep.
touches the water, he has backstory.
You don't know that.
Fuck that Kraken.
Whoa, that's a whole different show.
Yeah, no, it's the same show. Same show.
Crack into a kraken.
Actually, I'm
Crack
going to
into
take
a
the blue
Kraken,
one.
Kraken.
Take your time. It's all good.
Sorry, I just want to bring this with me, that's all.
That makes sense. Oh no. Oh god.
As the sleep takes you, and the darkness of your dream state alleviates you of the stress of the day, your aching muscles turning numb, your physical form and consciousness now removed and aimless in this dark space. You look down at your hand, and there you see clasped in your grip the somewhat hooked and curved blade that you had recently bound with. In your grasp, you swing it and slowly inspect it as you do. As you swirl the blade around in your hand, it almost has a trail around it. And as you hold it coldly in your grasp, this yellow light suddenly emerges in front of you as a familiar, large, yellow eye now looks upon you. And a voice fills you, directionless. Consume. And you glance at the blade and back at the eye, and the voice again says, Consume. What do you do?
Consume. Oh god, am I gonna try and swallow the sword?
What do you do for it?
It's a large blade, right?
It's about like this wide in places. It comes out and kind of arcs and curves, and it's got kind of jagged edges on it.
I don't know what you mean, consume. Fuck it. I'll turn the blade over and, like, keeping my eyes on the big eye, I'll bring it up to my mouth and open it.
It's cold to the touch of your tongue. The blade completely absent of any temperature.
And
As you begin to force it down your gullet, you feel the edge of the blade hit the back of your throat, and the moment of pain hits you as it begins to cut through your flesh. But at that point, this kind of ravenous hunger begins to build on the inside of your stomach, and though the pain tells you to pull away, you continue to just force the blade down. As you pull it down from hilt, you feel the blood kind of burble up in the back of your throat and spill out of your chin, but you continue to push it until the entirety of the blade is consumed within your throat. You close your eyes for a moment, and look up at the eye once more. And the voice returns to Phil, reverberating around you. The pain subsides, and it says, "Good." The eye closes, the lid completely cutting off the source. The cold, the liquid, the water around you, the sense of being under the ocean again begins to whisk you away. Some sort of heavy current begins to pull you from behind, and you reach out, trying to grasp for any sort of hand or foothold, but yet you have nothing to hold on to. And as you feel yourself being dragged into this endless abyss, the dream comes to an end. You wake up. Everyone else is kind of asleep in the area. No one seems to have been woken up from your presence.
Anything on my hands?
Nothing in your hands, no.
Can I wipe my mouth?
Wipe your mouth. There's a little bit of blood right there across your hand.
Can I try and summon the sword?
You do, and as you summon it, there before you is not the Waste Hunter blade, but the falchion, now returned to grasp, but with a strange, more hooked and jagged appearance to it. It seems that the essence of this pact has consumed the weapon you had bound with and made it one with the falchion that you made this pact with oath so long ago.
I try and keep my... Make it disappear again. Has anybody woken up, or any eyes open at all?
At the moment, no.
I'll lay back down and go to sleep.
All right.
Okay, next.
So wait another 10 minutes.
Yeah. See you on the flippity flop.
Can I just sit down next to him and just touch it?
Sure. Okay.
Touch it meaning his penis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
You're welcome, Internet.
All right. So as Ford is, as Caleb's concentrating on it, you go ahead and reach out and touch the stone. Your body immediately goes cold.
Oh, he's dead. He died. He
Could have waited 11 minutes, but no.
Your vision vanishes from your eyes as darkness fills your world. Your lids itch like some sand or dirt now scrapes the inside of the skin, and you rub them with your wrist. Your eyes open to find yourself somewhere else. The sky is moonlit and cloudless, the starry night looking down at you. Your clothes are not your own, nor is your body. A thick, brown leather overcoat lined in buckles wraps around your torso, while sun-weathered human skin marks your flesh. You notice your hands are dirty and thick with calluses as you clutch the very same yellow polished stone in your left hand. Looking down, you see the body of the individual who was its previous owner, now still in a pool of crimson dark. You glance around the place, some jungle-grown natural landmass by a pond. The smell of seawater is strong on the wind in the middle of the night. Flash. And your right hand grasps the familiar falchion, water dripping from the blade. A voice booms into your mind. Potential. A sudden uncontrollable hunger overcomes you as you instinctually jam the stone into your gut. It slowly sinks into your human flesh painlessly as it's being pushed into your torso. Consume. As it quickly vanishes within your belly, the hunger subsides as exhaustion takes over. You fall to your knees and look within the water, your reflection familiar but not your own. Bandren. Reward. Just as quickly as the vision came, in the blink of an eye, it's gone. Your reflection now, that of the familiar half-orc, looking into the pool where the stone was found. But the stone is gone. The rest of you guys watched in the middle of this concentration while Ford touched the stone, grabbed it, and jammed it into his chest. Before all of you could even react and push forward, it had already been thrust through his armor and into his body. You reach over and try and grab him, and with a strength you never felt in his body, he lurches towards the pond and thrusts it fully in, seemingly under some sort of uncontrolled force, his eyes glazed over and staring forward. Suddenly, he comes back, and as you glance around, you feel tension on your body as all your friends are grabbing onto your body and pull you away from the pool.
Where's the orb?
It's gone.
What the fuck was that? What just happened? Okay.
How do I feel?
Exhausted.
A little clammy, a little warm.
You actually take a point of exhaustion.
What just happened?
Can I touch his chest and his stomach?
Yeah, check to see if
See
there's a
if
scar
there's a
or
hole
anything.
on him or
There's no
anything?
damage to the armor. And as you pull back some of the leather plates, there's no sign of a wound.
Finding yourself into an evening of rest. Bored.
No, God damn it! Should we leave the stage? Do we need to leave the stage?
Oh,
You don't need to. That was more helpful earlier in the campaign when everything was a super mystery. He kind of spilled all the beans recently, so it's fine. You walk in darkness. Your eyes trained on a barely visible horizon of faded blue. The lightless midnight horizon that breaks this endless void. The ground is soft beneath your feet, and your slow gait bounces slightly with each step, like time is crawling in this buoyant space. You look down at yourself, obscured by shadow, until a faint yellow light bursts from your sword. The light of a yellow eye now open from the hilt like a lantern, lighting a tangled forest of kelp before you. Bubbles escape the corner of your mouth, but you breathe the waters calmly like a thick vapor. You search through the mass of shifting, slick sea vines, continually, eventually coming upon the base of a staircase, going up. What do you do?
I climb those motherfucking stairs.
As you ascend the cold stone stairs, the beam of the eye lighting the way, your passage is suddenly blocked by something. A statue, humanoid but featureless. Provoke.
I'll fire 2 blasts of Eldritch Blast at it.
Statue breaks apart, its various shards emerging from the detonation and slowly sinking in what is now the thick waters around you. As the head stumbles past the light at the edge of your sword, the face is recognizable in a flash. Sabian. You push beyond continuing to ascend the stairs. You come upon another statue, larger and looming more than the last. What do you do?
Witch bolt. Right to its chest.
As the darkened energy arcs from the hilt of your blade, hitting it, you watch as the cracks spider up the stone before it detonates into hundreds of shards of dark stone. You see half of the face slowly hit and clatter onto the stonework before falling off to the side. Vandrin. Do you continue up?
The stairs, are they staying the same? Is there anything at the foot of the statue after they break apart?
Looking down, the statue itself is now immaterial. You've entirely annihilated it, and you glance over the side, and what few shards still remain slowly drift beyond your view into the dark abyss below.
I'll move forward.
Continuing to ascend these steps one by one. They grow more and more narrow, but you think you see what appears to be an approaching surface of some kind. You're clear the water, suddenly breaking the surface, and you're standing in a dark stone chamber. You've managed to get all the way up, standing within the ankle-high water in the middle of the stone chamber, and you watch as all the liquid begins to drain. Until there's no more water around you. Revealing in the center of this chamber an intricate circle in the ground, maybe 2 feet across. Beautiful, ancient craftsmanship, detailed to depict a serpent body coiled. carved eyes emerging from the creature's body every few inches. The center of the water is a circle of water, like a well.
Watching.
What do you do?
I'll summon the sword and hold the eye up facing the circle.
As you pull the blade up, you see the light hits the water and is absorbed by it. You don't see anything beneath it. It seems to be almost just a void that eats the light.
Void that eats the light. Can I walk into the center of the circle?
You step into it.
Well, I definitely do now.
Well, is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. You step into the circle. It's only a few inches deep of water, and your feet feel the bottom. It is shallow. But you're now standing above it. It's only about 2 feet across, so it's basically you standing over this small pool.
Is there a ceiling? Are there walls? Are there statues in this space?
Looking around you, you can see stone walls, and you can see a ceiling above you. It is this almost plain, featureless room, aside from the very edges of what looks to be stone stacked upon itself.
Watching. Can I look into the eye of the sword? Do I see anything?
You look towards the hilt, and the eye just stares back at you, the light kind of temporarily blinding you for a moment as you adjust.
What the fuck? Can I try and take the edge of the blade and press it into the floor?
You press the blade in through the water, and it hits the stone.
Jesus. I don't know what you want from me!
No response. Then you hear once more.
Watch.
I've stared at the eye. Fuck. I have no idea.
Make a perception check.
Ooh, 19.
19. The handle of the sword is somewhat slick in your grasp from the water you were traveling from before, and you feel the blade almost trying to turn in your grasp, turning the eye away from you.
I'll let it go where it's leading and point it towards the floor.
It slowly finds its way, just resting, facing down towards the pool.
Okay. Sure. Can I put my face in the water?
You place your face down into the water, and as opposed to the stone surface you've seen there, it is just this vacuous black void. And there you see in a sudden instant, the eye opens up before you, the bright yellow light enveloping you. Suddenly there's searing heat, and you pull back out of the pool, and the entire chamber is filled with blazing hot steam. It hurts at first, but then it begins to feel nice. This burning sensation crawling across your body, going instead from pain to a surge of strength, of control, of purpose. The voice again says,
Reward.
and as you look up around you, the stone falls away, and on the distance, you can see that horizon once more. Now an endless ocean. You can see the faint ripples of waves across a sourceless bit of moonlight. And there you just see dozens of ships coming towards you. What do you do?
I look behind myself real fast?
You turn behind you, and it is just darkness, inky, infinite.
A shitload of ships coming towards me. Yeah, cool. Are there any pigeons in this dream?
Make a perception check.
16!
No.
Can I reach my hand out and try and control the ships?
Yeah.
As you concentrate, looking towards the right of you, where it looks like 4 or 5 vessels are in a localized portion of this black, endless ocean, as you concentrate, you see the water begin to boil beneath them.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and grab whatever the fuck that is and pull it up.
You watch as the ocean fires up like a spire, a pillar of solid ocean water. You watch as the ships are scattered in different directions as it slams them down once more, scattering them into thousands of pieces of splintered wood.
Can I take both hands and just do a coup de grace, like 2 big over the top?
You watch as the center of the ocean parts, giving this slight vacuum, this almost dual-sided abyssal crevice in the center of the ocean. On the opposite ends of where your hands rise, you watch the waves rise up, and in one fell swoop, 2 solid crystalline walls of water slam together, and then even out. As the ripples subside, all you can see are the thousands and thousands of glittering shards of what once were that armada.
Fucking Moses shit.
Don't wake up, don't wake up, don't wake up, don't wake up.
Take it.
And you wake up.
Ford,
Yeah.
maybe 2 days out from the reefs, you go to bed that night. And as sleep takes you, you find yourself kicking through the thick, sludge-like waters that surround you, sluggish in your movements, the darkness all-encompassing, yourself alone in these shadowed depths. A faint green light is visible in the distance. You push and swim towards it, the light growing brighter, closer. As that grows closer, a second light, even further, impossibly distant. But you can acknowledge it, rests on the horizon. As that first light gets brighter, you can see the source taking shape. It's a figure, female, nude, also swimming. Avantika, emanating this strange green glow, swimming ahead of you, her body wreathed in this faint greenish yellow aura. She looks and points to you, and the waters around you seem to glow with the same colored light. You look down at your body and you see that you are now the third glowing source of this green energy. And suddenly the waters are easy to traverse. What was once sluggish and difficult to ford is second nature. A voice comes through. Watching. The distant light you see suddenly dives with incredible speed, nearly out of sight. Avantika dives down after it, rocketing down below you, breakneck in her speed. You dart after her to give chase, moving far quicker than you anticipated. You realize the water is becoming thinner and thinner, like air. You're falling. 3 shooting stars plummeting through a dark sky. Learn. Glancing down below this endless void you plummet towards, you make out the details of what seems to be a surface rushing towards you. You plummet towards an ocean. The faint, distant, endless glittering of moving, shifting waves of some sourceless moonlight just barely giving the shapes below. With 3 large masses beneath you, like a misshapen triangle of land masses of incongruent sizes. 1, 2, 3. You rocket downward towards the space between the 3, the center of this triangle, hitting the waters of the ocean with tremendous force. Impact, but no pain. You sink. The light of the other 2 figures glittering through the lightless waters. Down. Down you sink. Until you see a structure come into view from below. A tilted tower wrapped in sea vines. The hollow center providing a wide tunnel further within. You peer inside this empty tunnel of the tower's depths and watch as a sudden bright yellow light shines from within. A gleaming yellow eye. Reward. As the 2 other lights seem to try and drift towards you, behind you, you fall into darkness and the dream ends.
What are we doing here, Ford?
Can I hold up the sphere in one hand and the falchion in the other?
Yeah.
Do they react to each other?
They both get brighter.
Can I try and hold the sphere to my chest?
Yes, you do. And as you take the sphere and press it to your chest, your eyes suddenly flash images of black sub-ocean darkness, the same place your dreams have brought you over and over again. And that bright yellow light emerges, breaking the shadow, and there you see the yellow eye with 2 more on the sides of it. You see the endless row of teeth that curves into the smile. And the flash is gone, and you look down, and your hand is empty. The rest of you watched this, and this thing just for momentarily seemed to become either ethereal or just it is absorbed into Ford's chest. And you look at the sword, and now there's the eye in the hilt and the eye in the pommel.
Oh, that's tight.
Just in case.
All right. As you all ascend and vanish out of sight, leaving Ford and Frumpkin behind, you look down upon the base of this interior chamber. The same recess that you had met before at Urukazel, beneath the temple of the Yanti. You can see, now that you're kind of surveying it by yourself, standing over it, the hints of the same spiral grooves that all emerge from it in a similar pattern as the one you previously saw, carving up the walls and meeting the upper area, with the faint bits of runes occasionally visible along. The same form of prison enchantment placed on this chamber as the one you've already seen.
I will kneel down in front of the recession, and I will look at the eye that's in the pommel of the falchion. Let's see what this does. And I'll place it in the recession.
Okay. As you place the sword pommel down into the center of that recess, the eye glows, your vision goes dark and dark to black. Flash of bright yellow light. Your eyes kind of wince, though you force them open. Looking ahead of you, you can see a bright yellow eye, the size of your body, staring towards you, emitting this painful glow, the singular dark slit from top to bottom, focusing and twitching in your direction before it finds you. Watching. You hear a deafening crack And though your eyes are still adjusting to the light before you and focusing intently on this eye, on the peripheral around it, you can just barely make out what looks to be shifting shadows, like tendrils or movement. Something serpentine beginning to shift. It seems to be resisting some sort of binds, making gains on them. Adept. A loosened tendril curls behind you. You don't change your focus. Looking into the eye, you feel like an icy blanket, this scaly-like tail, almost as large as your body, begin to wrap around you. The touch is freezing, ice cold, and you feel your back arch. It begins to envelop and squeeze you. Reward. The cold sensation overwhelms your senses. Your entire body goes numb and your vision begins to blur once more. The light of the eye begins to fade as the cold sensation and the grasp of this tendril becomes the entirety of your awareness. You hear a distant sound of muffled cracking again. As the blackness claims your vision, you see a distant shape, like a broken shore at midnight before you. Waves curl against this shore. It's a long, protracted beach. Just the faint bits of starlight in night, giving you just the basic outline of it. Along that beach, you see 3 points of light. Different from what your previous vision were. They're not bright, singular points, but 3 focused gathering of dull lights. You glance over, there's cities. Cities at night, 3 of them along the shore. Beyond that, a faint bit of yellow grabs your attention. Beyond these 3 coastal cities, you see a forest. Jungle. You can't make out the details from this strange kind of elevated vantage point. You feel like you're flying above the sky. And the light goes brighter, and it's the same tint as the eye that summoned you here, as the spheres that you've claimed through your journey. Above that forest, you can see looming the peak of a mountain range. And as that light goes brighter and brighter in the heart of this jungle, you just hear once more, release. The light gets brighter until it begins to hurt your eyes. You're trying to focus on it, trying to will yourself towards it, and it gets too much and you force your eyes shut. The minute you open them, you're back in the chamber. Your body is pins and needles as the numbness begins to fade. You glance down. The yellow sphere that was the base of your sword, the eye, it's just the dull, lifeless metal that was there when you first found the falchion. You watch as all the runes suddenly begin to glow with that same yellow, faint light. The spirals all around you. The stone shifts again and cracks, and you see bits of stone and leftover sediment begin to just release within the inside of the chamber.
Time to go. I'll head towards the tunnel.
Forward.
Oh, shit.
It's been some time, it's been some time.
Wet dreams.
Dry, empty plains. Flat, open, featureless. An endless horizon of empty earth. Beneath you, something shifts. You look down, your feet standing above a spring, small and trickling, burbling up from the ground below. The waters spew forth and begin to spread, rapidly drowning this endless expanse around you. In shifting waves, the level of the water comes beyond your nose, and you struggle to try and swim with it, but find your feet anchored to the ground beneath you. The surface escapes you upward, leaving you in freezing depths, fathoms below. Watching. The shadowed shape of an ever-twisting serpent form writhes and cages around you in all directions. Return. A single massive yellow serpent eye appears before you. Then another. Big and small, your entire periphery becomes dozens and dozens of different sized yellow eyes, single-slitted, staring directly at you. Reward. The shaded tendrils of Ugutoa begin to close in around you, binding you in a cocoon of cold, scaled flesh. Wonder. The tendrils knot and flex, crushing your body slowly. The pain is immeasurable. Your vision darkens and your body begins bleeding as you feel everything compress the life from you. Punish. Oh no. A final squeeze sends the last breath from your lungs in a muffled scream. You shoot awake, vomiting onto the ground next to you. Caduceus, you see this as suddenly shoots up. You look down, eyes blinking to see foam and briny seawater now slowly soaking into the hard-packed ground. Ford.
What? This is getting a dream while not thinking about boning Yeza.
Am I in the wrong bed? This isn't Yeza.
A dream by Zerk.
Hotel walls.
The sound of the rain gently lulls you to sleep. You can hear the water colliding against the wood on the outside of your chamber. And as you come to sleep, you can feel the rain on your skin.
Oh.
And you feel the water rise above your ankles to your knee, to your torso, and it's freezing cold. As soon as it hits the torso, your chest kind of seizes for a moment, and you have to catch your breath. And it rises higher and higher until you're fighting to catch your last breath of oxygen and inhale before the water level escapes and continues up into the lightless darkness. You swear you see something move in the water, and you glance to try and catch it, and you don't see it. And something shifts this way, and you look and you try and swim to gather it, but there's nothing's catching your eyes. The eye opens up before you, the light, golden and yellow, just completely enveloping your body, nude, swimming through the dark water. Reward. You feel this little heartbeat in your chest. You look down, you can see against the kind of dull gray skin of your chest, there's a yellowish light source, the same light as the eye before you, pulsing. The searing pain shoots into your chest, and you look down in the space where it's pulsing. The water just gets clouded with darkness, blood beginning to pour through and seep from your sternum. You reach and clutch for it, but it won't stop bleeding. And you start coughing and inhaling the water, and you feel yourself drowning and drowning, and coughing and coughing. Punish. In those throes of your body shaking, the light begins to fade and numb and drift as the darkness takes you, and you wake up coughing in your bed, seawater and a familiar display sputtering out of your mouth onto the edge of your bed. And you hear the clatter of metal. Cling, 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 cling.
I reach around in the dark for the sound.
Okay. Your falchion is on the floor.
Are you okay?
What? Yeah, nope. Sorry. I just was yes, sorry. Go back to sleep. Everything's fine.
You can still hear the rain outside. You have no idea what time it is.
Can I hear Caleb breathing?
Make a perception check.
Nine.
You can hear him breathing, it's fine. I just wanted to make you roll for it.
Does he sound like he's asleep?
I did not go back to sleep.
He is not?
No, and I rolled a 27 deception check.
Okay, he's asleep. Let's make an insight check. Make an insight check, actually.
Gotta be a 27, my man. 10.
Yeah, he's asleep.
The falchion is not normally just out. Can I try and bamf it away?
Mm-hmm. You can focus on the falchion, gripping the handle, and close your eyes to will it away, but it remains.
Oh no.
Do I have any idea what time it is? How long I've been asleep? Is it bright or darker?
No. It's eternal nighttime here in Rosanna. Mm-hmm. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just sitting alone in your soaked bed sheets, clutching your sword, confused in the darkness.
I will get up and gather just, shoes and basic garments, and I will try to quietly exit the room.
Okay, make a stealth check.
9.
Okay. You grab your things and kind of shuffle and stumble into a chair and grab your bag, and as you step, does he set off your alarm spell?
No.
Because he was considered an ally, so.
But I watch him go.
Okay, you watch as Ford steps out of the chamber. And like you think it's closed, and you push, it goes, like, shit.
Is there more light in the hallway?
There is. There are 3 low-burning oil lanterns that are affixed to the wall.
Can I walk over underneath one of the lanterns and look at the falchion? Does it look the same, different? Is the eye still there?
It looks the same. The eye's still there, yeah.
Is there anyone in the hallway?
Right now, no, not at this hour.
Can I conjure up a ball of eldritch energy in my hand and see what the eye does?
You look down at your palm. Nothing emerges. You concentrate and focus, and all you can see after a minute of trying is the sweat beginning to form in your palm and your forehead, and dripping off your nose.
I hustle down out of the dim zen and into the street. Can I find a corner or like an alley or just a closed space where no one is?
Yeah, it takes you a moment because you're kind of in this half fugue state, not concentrating, more kind of stuck internally in your thought process. You push out into the cold rain without even feeling it on you. You push off to the nearest alleyway to the right, which is similar to where the moorbounders are brought. You find one little subsection there.
Puddles. Are there puddles? Are there puddles?
There are puddles, yes.
Can I find a puddle and look in the ground, and I will use Mask of Many Faces to make myself look like Caduceus.
Okay, you look down in the water and all you see is your face.
Shit! He's just a guy!
Mm-hmm. No. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Fuck. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. I will take the sword back inside and walk back up to my room. and try and quietly go back to sleep.
Okay. You hear Ford step back in, breathing heavily. Crawl back into his bed and lay down. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me. Okay. Amongst the adrenaline pouring through your veins, the thoughts rushing through your mind, you force yourself to find a center of peace on the inside of your consciousness and do manage to find sleep once more after about 30 or so minutes of silently panicking in your bed. Your sleep slowly fades. Your body cold with a biting wind that cuts through you. Not wind. A chilling current. You open your eyes and see nothing but shadow, and your arms move sluggishly against the familiar, icy waters that portent the prying will of your patron. Your heart rate begins to race and jump, knowing what this brings, and as that fear wells up into your throat, you hear the familiar voice call from the darkness. Return. A yellow glow pulses in your chest. The orb that remains embedded within your body shining through the skin like a dull lantern. You look up from your chest to see the gargantuan lid of the familiar spotlight-like yellow eye fill your entire periphery. You try and look to the right or left, but you are locked in on this singular slitted pupil, your body seemingly frozen in place. You're unable to turn away. The panic begins to build, and the voice says, "Release." This heavy, resonant tearing sound begins to fill the space around you, as tendrils begin to emerge from the pupil of the giant eye. Snaking vines pushing through it, pulling the eye apart from the center, an emerald light pouring through the gaping hole, warming the waters around you. A slew of emotions fill your mind, warm, amorphous, but comforting and evoking ideas that become words. Come with me, child. The hole within the eye glows with verdant light like an open doorway.
Do I recognize the voice?
You've never heard this voice.
I move towards it.
You take a moment to push past and try and swim forward, and the current is pushing against you. Go ahead and make a strength check for me.
That's right. Strength check.
Yeah. Or athletics, I'll say.
Oh, athletics is way better. 17.
17. The current begins to build and try and force you away from it. The eye, you can see the veins at the corner of it tensing. It's trying to resist this shifting doorway. And you push forward, grabbing onto the vines, and thrust your whole body through this open wound. As you push through, the cold fades. The vines begin to tug at your arms and carry you the rest of the way through as it closes behind you. Without force or pain, warm, cradling sensations as you're removed from the nightmare of Uk'otoa, settled within a small chamber of tangled leaves and roots. Within this mass of vines and green, you swear you can see a face. Female, motherly, her eyes closed. The thoughts and emotions enter your mind once more. The words come to you interpretive. The womb I grant, but withers without faith. His will shall find you again soon. The eyes open, and light like an orange sunset pour over you, through you, lulling you slowly back to sleep. His will shall find you again. But until it does, rest. And the darkness takes you for the remainder of your sleep. As you're all gathering forward, you're about to step in there, and you feel this like cold spike shoot through the back of your head for a moment, and a voice just kind of gently caresses the inside of your ear that says, and right as you finish that step, the momentum, your eyes wide, the brain kind of numb from the sudden moment where time seems to slow. As you experience this, you step down and entering the circle, and all of you are heading towards?
Back to the dynasty, yes.
In the dark calm of your evening sleep.
No! Not me. I'm talking to everybody, right?
The ghost of Avantika's there for seconds.
Oh my god.
He hears these things.
Don't have your politer.
You wake up on a beach. You can hear the waves crashing, but it's night. The moon high in the sky around, full, the singular beacon of white light above, the stars kind of twinkling above. It's peaceful. And while you're conscious of it, and it's familiar, and it's just a dream. And you watch as the stars begin to blink out. You look up and you can see them twinkling, different variations and brightness, one by one, plucked out of the sky by darkness. In that full moon, you watch as the dark orb of shadow begin to take it from one side to the next. The singular source of light left beginning to leave you in complete shadow. As you begin to panic and feel your heart beating into your throat, you dig your fingers into the sand, your toes in, and stand up just as the last bit of light plucks away. And what disturbs you is you're comfortable in the dark, but there is no placement of sight around you than but 5 feet of the beach and ocean before you. You can watch the waves kind of and pull away out of sight. And you feel to the right of you a heavy, and you feel a spray of sand from one side onto the opposite side. Another spray. And you start to back up. And as you begin to back away, you feel the tendrils catch you from behind and wrap and curl around one shoulder and this around your torso and constrict, not to pain, but to the point of immobility. Where the moon was in the sky, the shadow pulls back, but instead of a white moon, a yellow one. And as it tears away, the singular, familiar, dark slit staring down upon you pulls you closer towards its light. Don't run. Find. Take. Consume. And you sense below the eye, the sky begins to tear loudly the streaking, thunderous noise as you see a mouth pull across the endless abyss and open, and the tendrils draw you towards it. Return or consume. As it pulls you into the dark expanse of the mouth, the jaws clamp around you, your body suddenly crushed with an instant universal pain of your physical form being snuffed into paste, and in that minute, wake up once more. You have no idea what time it is. The rest of your companions around you, asleep, yourself washed with sweat, breathing heavy.
Do I see the sword?
You don't see it at the moment.
Can I summon it?
Nothing.
Come on. I sit up. I start looking for it a bit more.
You glance over, and about 4 feet from you, it is resting right next to where Beauregard is currently curled up.
Unsheathed.
Unsheathed?
I will pick it up, and I will walk a little bit away from the group.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Natural 20.
Without issue, you gingerly grasp your weapon and sneak your way out of the chamber into the hallway.
I will look at the sword.
You can see the dull orange glow that emanates from the not too distant underforge, and the magma pool beneath it, kind of slightly lighting the outside of your face against the reflected blade.
Yeah. Yes. I will walk towards the pool of magma, as close as I can get.
Okay, you step out, and you can see sitting in the same chair where you first met Jeremis Dust. She is sat there, slumped forward and asleep, kind of shoulder placed against the small table to her side where the whittling tools are, unaware of your presence.
I will take the sword and hold it against my chest. And I will say, you need me more than I need you. Give it back. Does anything happen?
Make an intimidation check.
23.
Ooh.
Nothing seems to happen.
I push it into my chest.
How far in?
A few inches, maybe an inch.
Okay, so a few inches? Or
Yeah, let's go. Let's say an inch. See what happens.
The pain rocks through your body, and as you press in, your muscles tense around it, your chest contracts, and you feel the white, hot, sharp pain up through your body and into the base of your skull. And you press it in, you can already feel the blood beginning to trickle from the wound.
I'll take one step towards the pool of magma and I'll push it in a little further.
Okay. You push in another inch or so. You... So you've taken 9 points of, I'll say for this piercing damage, even though it is a slashing weapon, but it's being utilized in a piercing fashion. As you now step...
How close are you to the lava?
You're now like maybe a foot from the edge of it.
Probably almost taking damage from that.
Make another intimidation check if you'd like.
Oh boy.
13.
13. No response. No reaction. The heat is burning onto the edge of your skin. Not, painfully so, but you definitely can feel the proximity.
One more step. One more push.
You are now at the edge of it. You push in further, okay.
Oh, Jesus. Don't pass out next to the lava. Please.
Okay. That is
Whatever could tell.
19 points of piercing damage upon yourself. At this point, as you're pulling it there, how close are you standing to the edge? Are you just like outside of the wall or up against
it? Outside of it.
All right, you're standing right there. It's plunged now. It's 3rd inch in, and that's fairly deep into your chest, and you can already feel the worry. Amongst as your willpower is there at the moment in the back of your mind. You're like, I'm getting close to vitals.
Mm-hmm.
Make another intimidation check.
Oh my god.
22.
22. No response.
I take the sword out.
Okay.
I hold it over the pool.
All right, you withdraw, and with that, it was like a gout of your own viscera, and it splatters across the exterior of the wall, and like begins to immediately sizzle and smoke.
Don't know how long I can hold this.
As the blood drips from the blade into the magma, the steam and smoke that arises from the burning of your own blood across the immediate, extremely hot surface kind of sends up tufts of smoke. And the stream gets more consistent as the smoke billows more and more and more and kind of begins to fill the space around you. The dark smoke beginning to swirl around your shoulders and around the weapon until suddenly the light begins to be choked around you. The warm, bright underglow of the light in fire begins to vanish as you find yourself surrounded in this cloud of smoke born from your own burning blood. In that moment, the pain still there throbbing in your chest numbs ever so slightly. And there in the smoke around the blade, your hand shaking, still stalwart and strong. A calmness comes across you. What do you do?
I'll pull the blade back and throw it.
Into the...
It disappears through the smoke. You hear the smoke dissipates in the direction of where you threw it about a moment later. And there you can see it resting and slowly sinking into the molten rock.
I'll take a step back. Does it disappear under the...
If you wait a few moments, it probably will.
I'll put my hand over the wound. Is it still pouring?
It is still bleeding, but not as profusely as it was when you withdrew the blade.
I'll wander over to the group and wake up Caduceus.
Okay. Forward.
What?
You also
A night of restless sleep comes to you. Whether it be the sound of the heavy rain hitting the glass doors on the outside of your captain's quarters, just the anxiety of the coming interaction, but you toss and turn quite a bit. But when sleep does take you, you have visions of being in a forest once more, not unlike the one that you had traversed to help Caduceus find his family. You're alone. And you don't know where to go. You travel a bit. And it just continues. Almost the same, like it's a repeating glade. You push past trees. The rain now falls through the top of the forest, and you hear the distant rumbles of thunder carrying into this space. What do you do?
Repeating forest, thunder. God, these are hard. I will summon the sword. Can I sink it into the earth and try and listen for the voice of the Wild Mother?
You summon the sword to your hand, and what stares back at you is not the ruined blade that you found on this journey, but the familiar curved falchion with a singular yellow eye looking back, and you feel a burning pain in your chest. It burns even brighter and hotter. And suddenly it's a pain that is unbearable. As you come to consciousness, trying to scream, but you're winded. As a dark figure stands over your bed, a blade plunged in your chest.
Ooh. Not the fucking girl! Oh no!
You suffer 12 points of slashing damage, as well as 4 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
It's a priest of Ukutoa or something.
As you lie there, the blade, a familiar-looking, barnacle-encrusted falchion, partially thrust into your abdomen. The creature holding it appears humanoid before you.
No.
But you see heavy, tattered robes and slivers of cloth. You see grayish blue skin. You see a humanoid face with long, thick tendrils of hair, yellow eyes, and the jaw itself seemingly split partially open and just kind of breathing like an exaggerated predator. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
What?